I present to you the Sekhigara Campaign. If you've not heard of this mod, basically assume it is the end-game campaign for Shogun 2. It's basically a much more historically accurate and better representation of what is, I believe, Realm Divide. Now this is a mod, so assume that by the end of around 1580 or 1590, which I assume the Sekhigara campaign is, Oda Nobunaga is no longer alive. His passing has gone by. The old lords of Yusuke Kenshin and Takeda Shingen, all those great warlords, no longer live or breathe. But at the very same time, new warlords are rising up, new clans are rising up in order to become the Shogun. And who will they support? Will the warlords of Japan support, let's say, Hideyoshi? Will they support the Tokugawa clan? What is going to happen? And Hideyoshi is perhaps one of the most powerful men in Japan after Oda Nobunaga. And despite the fact that his invasion of Korea is also a failed outlet as well. So Sekigahara's campaign will start sooner or later. But at the same time, you will still have all these clans of Japan to fight with. It's not an easy one. You will have enemies to deal with, and sometimes I played this mod with the 10th anniversary mod and it does wonders. It makes Shogun 2 really feel like a new game, and I just think it's great. Or do you want to play Ishida Mitsunari, who was perhaps not one of the greatest leaders of Japanese feudal history? I would say that he was a very cunning man. And that's what the Sekigahara campaign immerses you into. It immerses you into the final events of the Sengoku Jidai, where every warlord, everyone is just trying to get their maximum potential, and everyone is trying to survive. And if you watch Shogun, you know that this was Japan's Game of Thrones era. This was an era of brutal combat, this was an era of brutal combat, an era where so many soldiers died on the battlefield. And this was an era that gave the Japanese a thoroughly professional army because of years of constant civil fighting, literally gave them veterans. That they would then go on to, let's say, fight in Korea. But now that we are focused on this campaign, I had a great time as Hideyoshi. And when I played Hideyoshi, Hideyoshi was like an old wolf. And playing Hideyoshi was like playing an old wolf, to be honest. Because he was very intelligent, he was very clever, but at the same time, nobody can outwit an old wolf. It's too dangerous. And what I can say about this is that this mod was released at least 10 to 15 years back. It is still holding up to this day. And it's been uploaded on the Steam Workshop right now, and I truly recommend it. We played with the 10th anniversary mod, and also played this with the mod that is known as Stronghold of the Samurai. And it's a great mod. But when I played it, I didn't find much to do with city settlements, but that could be because there's so many mods in Shogun 2. You could be literally browsing. Let it be clear, this is a Shogun 2 modification aimed at representing the very last years of the Sengoku Jidai. You know, for the most part, your favorites will be gone. So the horse riding Takeda, the castle built in Hojo, they're long gone. And these new clans are all fighting it out in Japan. The Toyotomi, Okita, Tokugawa, Ishida, Date, Sonada, Honda, Naoi, and Kato. You know, we have sub-clans as well, as such as the Ikeda, Fukushima, Maeda, and so on and so forth. But it shows a big diversity of more clans within this mod by itself. And you will see that within some building chains, they have been modified a little bit. So you could build a Toyotomi base when you capture a castle, which means that your population becomes more or less happy towards you. But if you don't, then it will be difficult, to say the least. There are building chains that have been redesigned. There's, theaters and building chains that you can give. And you also have 16 buildings as well, which means for food, general, or whatever it is. There is a lot of aesthetics, a lot of it, And the campaign map is also redone as well. But I also combined this with the 10th anniversary mod and Strongholds of the Samurai mod, and I think it just produces an absolutely excellent way to play Shogun 2. All in all, this is a fantastic campaign. I wouldn't say that the entire campaign is overhauled, but I would say that there's so much uniqueness within the mod that it makes you feel like this should have been a DLC, but we never did get it. Is the endgame mechanics. The endgame mechanics being, imagine that you started Shogun 2 in 1545 and you have to start all over again. This time you're not really starting all over again. You're literally speeding through the efforts of what's going to happen, more or less. I just think it looks absolutely great, and do play with the 10th anniversary mod because you can see there's new weather, lighting, new dynamics, and the stronghold map gives these fortresses, gives these castles some really historically accurate castles and cities to fight in. I really do think that this is a fantastic mod, that this is a mod that you should definitely try out, and that's it. That's all I wanted to say about this, but for the rest I should leave you to watch and have a look at this mod. All the mod links will be down in the description box, and yeah, don't forget to leave a like, share, comment and subscribe, and I will see you on the next video.